students, you are welcome to the Bioma IAS. I am Deepak Kumar, practically and officially, and phonetically, I am Deepak Kumara, because I have lots to do with linguistic things. So, linguistically, phonetically, I am Deepak Kumara. And here, I'm not to mere help you, I'm not here mere to teach you or mere to guide you. Rather, I'm here to work with you constantly till the success is got. And for that, we will continue to work with you for quite a long. And Ies examinations, why it is so tough? Why it is regarded so tough? In fact, whatever problem we have in our life, if we begin the solution with ABCD, with the beginning, there is no problem in the world which can't be solved. Likewise, the examinations of IAS or any other examinations can be got through, can be passed very easily if our strategy, if our planning is smart. If you don't have smart planning, you can't do anything better. What do you think? What is the main reason? What is the core areas? What is the very important things which helps a person to get through in the examinations? So that is, I think, there are 4 things. One, you need to have an enlightened teacher. You need to have an enlightened teacher in view of IAS examinations. And second thing is, you need to have quality content. Third thing, students also need to have inclination towards enlightenment. When I talk about enlightenment, it means clarity in knowledge, clarity in fundamental things. Not a person who is like a Buddha or who is like a Mahavira. No, that's not, that type of enlightenment is not required here. We need to have enlightenment regarding civil services preparation. So 4 things are very crucial to pass the examination. One is enlightenment of the teacher, enlightenment, tendency of enlightenment of a student, and third thing is very good quality of content. And the fourth thing, what I'm going to emphasis on is your expression, your written expression, your written style and things. So I think you will also be agreed with me to have enormous knowledge is not the key to pass the examination. Rather, we need to know very smartly how to deliver all the knowledges. So if someone knows how to deliver it, and deliver means writing skills, Writing skills is a very important thing, very crucial thing to get success in the examination like IAS. And the students, what they are missing is writing skills. I know, you know as well, there are so many students who are not so learned, but they are successful. Why? Because somehow they got writing skills, somehow they were aware of writing skills, and ultimately they passed. So I'm to talk here about writing skills, and if we talk about writing skills, the problem comes how to write the things. To gain knowledge is not enough. The writing skills mean the increased marks in all papers. If we have writing skills, we can improve our marks in Hindi English, which is a compulsory paper. We can gain a good marks in GS paper first, GS paper second, GS paper fourth, and you know very well that the paper of essay we can achieve 175, 180, 200 marks in essay papers also. So to get good marks in the essay papers, to get good marks in first paper, in second paper, in third paper, all these things required writing skills. So mere to have a knowledge of content is not sufficient, you know. And that is very important to know how to write the things. You won't believe, if you give me 1 page of writing, I will find about 20 to 25, 20, 30 mistakes. And mistakes are so different type of mistakes be commit there. For instance, if we write some things, there could be grammatical mistakes, there could be lack of collocation of words, there could be improper sentence structure, there could be mistakes in spellings, there could be mistakes in ultimately of content. So if we write things, we make so many mistakes. First of all, which is very effective, that is content. And whatever content we have, if we don't put those content in synchronized way, if this our content is not well balanced, then it creates rather bad effect on the examiner. So we need to have very good language fluency. We need to have error-free writing. We need to have a type of balanced thinking, and we need to have a very good beginning, and ultimately we need to have very good content as well. So all these things, if put together, then you affect the teacher, affect the examiner, and ultimately you get success. So I would like to repeat 4 things again to get through in the civil services examinations. 4 things are very important. 1, you need to have a teacher who is either enlightened or inclined to enlightenment. Second, you need to have a tendency to be enlightened. Third thing, you need to have very good content. And fourth thing, you need to have linguistic skills. So what we here going to talk about is an essay paper. In essay paper, there are several ways to write essay papers. One is you can start with some quotations. You can start with a definition. You can start with something said by someone who is a very famous person. And all these things is indicating that starting an essay paper has so many ways. Not only essay, but normal papers also. The first paper, second paper, third paper, and fifth paper. All these papers, when we write, they need to have synchronized music, you know. Within your writing, within your essay, there should be a synchronized music, you know. the music of a type of balanced, you know. So if all these things there are, then I think that would be effective writing, that would be effective essay or other things. Because first of all, if we write 200 words of answer, first of all, we need to write introduction. How long the introduction should be? As long your capacity, as long your word limit is, according to that, you need to put 3 lines of introduction. Later on, you write a body of the answer. And afterward, in the last, you write a conclusion, you know. So we can say there is the rhythm, you know, in writing. If there is a rhythm with content, rhythm with quality content. If there is a rhythm in your writing, if there is rhythm in your writing, if there is a balance thinking in your writing, and all these things, if it goes very in flow way, if the flow is quite smooth, then we can say that essay writing or that answer writing going to affect the examiner. And this is what we are lacking. And even after being so good flow, even after being very good content, if there is a spelling mistakes, if there is a linguistic mistakes, if there is a grammatical mistakes, believe me, these mistakes are going to affect again the examiner. So when we write anything, especially essay, what we have outer line that I would like to talk to you. First of all, when we write any essay, we have 3 things to consider. First of all, presentation. Second thing is, here, third thing I would like to write, content. And here, you need to put a type of rhythm. If you have rhythm in content and presentation, then this writing will go to affect the examiner. Otherwise, we can't affect the teacher, affect the examiner. In presentation, we have word limit. If you don't have word limits idea, you will miss the opportunity. And with word meaning, but with word limit, rule of punctuation, spelling, and other grammatical mistakes. And here content, as we know, what is happening with us is we are taking care of content only. Nobody is so careful about their presentation. You need to have good presentation, you need to have content, and after gaining all these things, you need to have a flow of synchronizing of the content, and ultimately you need to have thought process as well. If you don't have thought process, because whatever we write, that should be that type of writing, what writing they are accustomed to. The professors of central universities, the examiners, they have certain level of thinking, you know. And not only they have certain level of thinking, but we also need to have certain level of thinkings. Because without having certain level of thinkings, we can't deal with the matter what we are going to deal as an administrator. So examiner, the UPSC, trying to find those people who have certain level of thought process and who have quality thinking. If all these things happens, only then one can get acquired marks and things. So in essay papers, these things are very necessary. And you know, to tell something in brief is not an important thing. To know anything very well is not the guarantee of success. Because if we know one thing, we need to acquire those skills by hard work. And if we know that, for instance, I can say you need to know grammatical, the avoiding of grammatical mistakes, we can say. But to say that we need to avoid grammatical mistakes is one thing, while if we shall go to the matter, it will take quite a long time, quite a lot attention to correct the things. Because to learn grammar, though the grammatical rules and things are very short in number, but to get in practice, to be accustomed of those all rules is not an easy thing. So to say something is a different thing. To get practice in the things, that is a thing which we need to do. For instance, the content, whoever in our society, as a students, they gain so many tiny things first of all. And after getting all informations, we need to deliver also. In delivering, we have a lot of problem. So we need to, the first day, since beginning, we need to write the things in correct way. Especially the science students, especially for the science students, there is a lot of problem because they are not habitual of writing any concept in way of what the examiners like. And whatever problem there are in the world, every problem has solution, and the solution is to practice, practice, and practice. And not only you practice, because you practice, you write, you need to have also a person who can say you that what you are writing, where you have committed mistakes. That is very necessary, you know. If you don't have a mentor, if you don't have a person who can find out your mistakes, then how will you improve yourself? Because you don't have a limitless age of time to live in. Therefore, whatever you do, you need to have a person who can rectify your mistakes, who can improve your mistakes, and that should be constantly be provided. Constantly your mistakes should be removed. Constantly your writing should be improved. And then we can touch the level, what level the examiners are expecting. In Hindi essay, what happens with us is, in Hindi essay, you see, in Hindi essay, and I think I will be helping you writing essays, and essay writing not only will help you in essay writing only, but if you are master in essay writing, then you will also be master in other question writing as well, whether it is first paper, second paper, third paper, or fourth paper. So essay writing is very important thing, and you don't need to put only the fact and things in the essay writing, but you need to express your very core ideas, and that idea only comes after thought process. If we have thought process of that level of thought process, then those idea comes, and you don't have to bother whether it is full of data and things or not, because as we saw last year's paper, do you remember what type of essays were asked? There is no data. You don't need to data. They need to have thought process only. So all those things in second video, I will discuss all the things. But first of all, here I'm going to the beginning, the very initial things, what the good essay demands. So see here, in Hindi, essay is written in two ways. This is also okay, and this one is also okay. So in Hindi, we have again Prastutikaran, and then here again these things, which is, we can say, Samanjasya. And this one is Visay Vastu. When you talk about Prastutikaran, then comes Shabd, Suddhi, will you believe me? When we write, we have seen so many papers of Hindi students. They are making so many mistakes in wall writing. I can't believe. And people say the Hindi medium students are not getting success in large number. How can you get success in large number when you have problem with your normal writing? And Hindi, sometimes I think Hindi is rather difficult than the English one, because Hindi has 5 components: Tatsam Shabd, Tadbhav Shabd, Mistrit Shabd, Sanskrit Shabd, and all these things. There are enormous rules. Sometimes Hindi follow the rule of English. For instance, comma, the semicolon, and all these things are related to English. What have come to Hindi as well. Likewise, there are certain rules which are directly related to the Sanskrit words, and some style of Hindi has derived from Urdu also. So all these things makes Hindi sometimes very complicated. And one thing is this: what type of Hindi should be written? Should we write the Hindi like a Premachandra, or should we write Hindi in Jaishankar Prasad style. Which one? Because Jaishankar Prasad wrote Hindi in a very classical way, which was full of tatsam words. While Mr. Premchand, the famous story writer in Hindi, wrote Hindi in the street language, in a very simple language, full of Hindustani, full of Urdu words. So here is a problem. Can we get success through writing Premchand style, or can we get success through the way of Jaishankar Prasad, Mahadevi Verma, or Surikant Tripathi Nirala? So there are so many things. Which way you need to follow? So I would say you don't need to follow any way, but you need to follow what the Constitution prescribes us, what the Constitution directs us. In Article 351, Constitution says the Hindi should be enlarged, Hindi should be enriched with the words of Sanskrit. It means the word of Sanskrit, which are very common in Hindi, which are written in our terminological way. So if we write all those words, if we have inclination towards a little bit tatsam words, the words of Sanskrit, believe me, you will get rather good marks. Writing Hindi in Urdu way, it won't help you so much. You see, Premchandra has certain goal, certain audience to address to. They have their own audience, you know. Our audience, in audience of the civil services aspirants, is not a common people, is not the man in the streets, but your audience, your viewer, your question answer viewer is a professor of a university. The professor is a well-known reputation, the person of reputation. So if our viewer, if our examiner is a very high positioned, how can you accept the language of a street? So what we are doing mistake is this, that we are writing Hindi, we are speaking Hindi in the way that should be normal. Yes, of course, English should be normal, because English doesn't have so many words, you know, rather to Sanskrit and Hindi. So English is normally, because this is spoken, this is written, this is almost fixed about everything. But in Hindi, for instance, if we say constitutional, then in Hindi we have two words, Samvidhanik and Samvaidhanik. There are two versions. Which one is correct? You need to know that Samvidhanik is correct word, rather Samvaidhanik. So there are so many things, you know. There is version of Hindi is so many, and the version of English is one. So you can say English is easy, but I would say English has a fixation in the language pattern, but Hindi has a variation in so many things. But you need to know which is the authorized one. If you could know the authorized Hindi, they can write very good. Okay? For instance, if you see, let me explain what is Prastutikaran is. Shabd Suddhi, Vakya Suddhi, and then चिन्हों का सही प्रयोग, चिन्हों का प्रयोग, and then Shabd Shima, all these things have to do with the prastutikaran, presentation. These things are very necessary, and we do number of mistakes related to these things. We even don't know samvaidhanik or samvidhanik, samvaidhanik or samvidhanik, rajnaitik or rajnitik. Which word is correct? We are in fix. We are confused. So, till you are confused, you can't do better in the field of well and very quality writing. I must write here the word Rajnaitik. What do you think? Which one is correct? And second word is Rajnitik. There are thousands of words what we are doing, what we are using in correct way. I would like here to write Samvaidhanik. Samvaidhanik. And another word is Samvidhanik. So, if we don't know even that which one is correct, how can you claim or blame that Hindi students are not getting good marks? Of course, Hindi students never will get good marks till they don't know about these things. That Rajnitik is a totally wrong word, Rajnitik is a correct word. Samvaidhanik is a wrong word, Samvidhanik is a correct word. Likewise, there are so many words what we need to know very good way. You see, I'm going to write a sentence here. For instance, Sri Narendra Modi, Sri Narendra Modi भारत के प्रधानमंत्री हैं. I have written such a word. Can you please find how many mistakes you can see in this sentence? Is it possible to find some mistakes in this sentence? And believe me, this type of sentence is a litmus paper for your UPSC writing. So please pay attention to the sentence and tell me how many mistakes you find. I would like to write here the options. You find no mistakes, no mistakes, four mistakes, and in third option, I would like to give you 6 mistakes, and in fourth, I would like to tell you 10 mistakes. Okay? In fact, in this sentence, there are more than 10 mistakes. My option would be 10 mistakes for one. What are those? You will wonder how the correct Hindi is written. You can't find 10 mistakes in this sentence because you are not trained to find out. You are not trained to write the things. So, may I to say that Hindi writing is a different, Hindi writing students are not getting good marks. Of course, they won't get good marks until they don't learn it very well. Because you have to do with the people of central universities. You need to face those teachers who have faith, who are very well equipped with Hindi language. So they are not only a scholar of a political science, they are not only scholar of geography, they are not a scholar of science. They'll know good language as well. And we people, as a IAS aspirant, are not writing. What we are doing here, we are sitting 1,000 students in one class, 400, 500 students one class. You know, the act of 2009 says a classroom should be of 40 to 50 boys and girls, not of 500 and 600 and 700s. But we are doing those things because in Ies Examination, we need to do, to teach school students is very important. Likewise, to teach a UPSC candidate is very crucial. Without making improvement in writing, you can't even think of success. So first of all, you need to know, you need to sit with one-to-one. You need to word-to-word clarification. You need to, your copy checked word to word. You need to know why comma is used. You need to know why full stop is used. You need to know why this is small, why it is this. Without knowing this, you are going to make 20 to 50 mistakes in one paper, I would say. 20 to 50 mistakes in one paper, one page, not one paper, one page. And in second page, again the same mistakes. In third page, again the same mistakes. Likewise, you are going to make about more than 2 to 250 mistakes in one essay. So how can we say that we can get good marks? Because teachers are not able to pay attention to your content. They are forced to see your mistakes. And we don't have idea even. For instance, a person who is a patient of TB, a patient who is a patient of sugar, a patient of heart attack, and he or she doesn't know that he is inclination of TB. He has got inclined to the illness of sugar, and he is thinking himself or herself a very strong and healthy person. Likewise, we are also thinking that our Hindi is very good. We don't need to improve it. Almost I write because I got out of 170 marks in my 10th. I got 50 marks. I got 80 marks in my school time. Dear friends, getting 50 marks out of 50, getting 90 marks out of 100 is not a matter. These things don't have to do anything with your IS paper, because if it would have been effective, all 90 percentile would have been admitted in the upper examinations. So please don't be in dilemma. Don't think that you know very good Hindi. You have a number of mistakes in writing, and the this is a litmus paper, how many mistakes you can find. I would say there are 10 mistakes, but you can't say after such a consideration, I don't know whether you are able to find 10 mistakes or not. I will help you to find mistakes here. First of all, in Hindi, this type of sentence are never written. The correct sentence would be, Sri will be written differently, and one mistake. And the second one is A upon R, and Anuswar, Sri Narendra Modi, this is, and what type of one, to write Sri differently and separately is one mistake. To put A is second mistake. To put Anuswar is the third mistake, And again, I'm going to write Modi separately. That was the fourth mistake. And I'm going to put comma here, Alp Biram. This is a fifth mistake. This is a fifth mistake. And I'm going to write Bharat. The Bharat should be written like this, not like that. This is a correct Bharat. It means you need to make a figure here, Bharat. If you write this type of Bharat, this is wrong, this one is correct Bharat. The Hindi Nideshalaya suggests us how to write Kakha, Gagha, Chacha, Jaja words, letters. So Bharat is the sixth mistake. And K will also be written separately, that is seventh mistake. Pradhan should also be written in a correct way, and that is this one. This is a eighth mistake. And that should be connected with Pradhan. Mantri should be connected to Pradhan and should be written like this, Mantri. This is a ninth mistake, and this is 10th, and Tra is written like this. This is 11th mistakes. And Hai should be written like this, because Mr. PM is our Prime Minister, so we need to pay respect. We need to show respect to him, therefore we need to put in Bindi, which is called Anuswar, with Hai. So we can see here, there were 12 mistakes in the sentence. And now I'm going to pronounce the sentence, Sri Narendra Modi, भारत के प्रधानमंत्री हैं. Sri Narendra Modi, comma means you need to just stop a little bit. Sri Narendra Modi, भारत के प्रधानमंत्री हैं. If you write this sentence like this, then you can say that you have written Hindi correctly. So, don't get confused. Don't think yourself that you are a Pandit already. No. A person continues to learn in his life. And when we talk about language, this is language which makes a man get selected. If you know little, no problem. If you know very good, you are very good, you have got very good content, that's a very good thing. But if you don't know how to express yourself, if you don't know how to write correctly, you are going to lose the match. You are going to lose the examination. And that's happening with the Hindi students. Hindi students don't know. They would say, oh, this is a Panditai things. this was not necessary. Of course, you can say that. But if you don't use all these things, for my opinion, the language is quite mathematical. Language is quite mathematical. Yes, in a large number of things are similar to the mathematics. So this is very easy to learn. What we need is to practice. I would like to tell you, if you would have found more than 10 mistakes, then you were a very good learner, you were very good writer of English version. If you are not, you didn't find more than 11 mistakes, it is now your duty to learn it, to know it. Until you don't know these things, you can't get good marks. So I would like to tell you, here, when we talk about Nibandha, then we need to know all these things. Shabda Sima. Shabda Sima, the word limit is again a very important thing in our writing. Because we have to write so many pages in civil services. Here, what trick we need to follow is, don't write full length answer. If you have been ordered, you have been said to write 250 words, write 240 words, write 235 words. Go further for the next question. Because if you write 250 words, you are not going to obtain full marks. Rather, you are going to miss 2 or 3 questions, which is containing 10, 10, 10, 30 marks. Rather getting any more marks in your first paper, in a first question, which is to be written in 250 words. If you write 250 words, you won't get 10 marks. Rather, you will lose 30 marks in coming questions. So, be punctual, write correctly, be very industrious, and then go further. I assure you, you will be scoring the highest marks. Shabda Sima is a very important thing, and we need to manage. To pass the Ies examination is not becoming a very good learner. Rather, you need to have inclination towards enlightenment. An enlightenment of civil services preparation, not enlightenment of Buddha. Okay? Samanjasya. Samanjasya means you need to put, आपको विषय वस्तु और प्रस्तुतिकरण के बीच में सामंजस्य रखना है. सामंजस्य कैसा? चीज़ों को बहुत ही समुचित रूप से, बहुत ज़्यादा उग्रता नहीं दिखानी है, बहुत ज़्यादा अप्रभावी लेखन भी नहीं करना है. आपको दोनों को मिला के एक बहुत ही सामंजस्यपूर्ण, एकदम चीज़ों को संगीतात्मक रूप में लय और ताल के साथ प्रस्तुत करना है. आपके पास बहुत सारे आंकड़े हैं, आपने इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ी है, आपने बहुत सारे आंकड़े इकट्ठे किए हैं. उन सारे आंकड़ों को वहाँ उड़ेलना नहीं है. आपको आवश्यकता के अनुसार, according to need, you need to put some datas, and all these things should be in coherence way. There should be coherence of a content. There is coherence of your language. Then you can attract the attention of the examiner. विषय वस्तु, I don't think to say that students here in civil service examinations are studying. They are studying and studying and studying. Of course, they have good knowledge in content. but they are not able to present, they are not able to show their ability in writing. If you get ability to write, you can be selected. You can be selected if all these things are followed. Okay? And when we come to all these things, I must say, all these things is not possible within few weeks. You need to start and you need to continue doing all these things. And there are nowadays there's a big problem how to prepare for the IAS examination. And honestly, if I talk, I can say this is a confusing. The availability of several things, access availability of the teachers and mentors is a big problem here nowadays. Because some say this, you need to do this one, others say you need to write this one, while the fact is something else. As a linguistic person having 20 to 25 years of experience, I must say you need to have good language skill. If you have got good language skills, all your informations can be used. You know, your cases are like that bag. A person has a bag. In that bag, there are so many holes, you know. If he brings something from market, the things drops down from that holes. And when people come to his home, he see the things are not on those numbers what he bought in the market. So likewise, whatever you have learned, when you put in your bag, when you put your essay paper, when you put in your answer writing manner, you make so many holes of linguistic mistakes. You make so many holes of linguistic mistakes. In your presentation, in your essay, in your answer writing, there are so many holes. What caused your essay to sink, drowned? Your essay, the boat of your essay drowned because it has so many holes. So I would like to tell you, please stop your holes, please fill your holes in your boat, then you can pass, then you can cross the river of the UPSC examination. I am here to help you to paste something on your holes, and be sure, be confident. You need to have patience. You need to have confidence in you. You need to have patience and confidence in you. You need to have ability to find a teacher. Without finding a teacher, without finding a mentor, you are not going to crack the examinations. And I wonder, nobody is talking about these things. Someone are very good in linguistic things, but they are not doing person-to-person job. They are dealing with the masses, as the politicians do. As the politicians do, they are working on the psychological things. Oh, dear students, you can do like this and this and this and this, as politicians do. They promise so many things to the citizen and do according to their convenience. Our motto is not money. Our motto, the motto of Bioma IAS, is not mere money. our real motto to, to, to help you to succeed in the examination. And if you get succeeded in the examination, it glorify, it fulfills our dreams. It fulfills our, gratitudes, our desire. So our motto, therefore I said in the beginning, I am here not to teach you. I am here not to mere help you. I am here constantly to help you in the question writing, in the making sentences correct. And believe me, all these things, not only Nibandh, not only essay, but also other things, because if you could know good language, I must repeat it again. If you could know the language, your medium, your writing skills is improved, then you can improve your first paper, your second paper, your third paper, whatever paper you will write. In each paper, you will get good marks. And I think my suggestion, this is, you need to take my suggestion as a whole. I'm not going to teach you only essays. I'm not going to teach. मैं केवल आपको निबंध पढ़ाने नहीं आया हूँ. मैं एक holistic approach के साथ, I'm here to help you with a holistic approach. Learn language very well within few months, and then go to write. Remove your mistakes, what irritate the teacher, what irritate the examiner. First, remove those. I would like to present a story here. If kheer, in Hindi it is said kheer. If it is kheer is prepared and you put some, आप कुछ कंकड़ डाल दीजिए उसमें, स्टोन्स, छोटे छोटे स्टोन्स डाल दीजिए और फिर उसको खाया जाए, तो जिस प्रकार से खीर के खाने में, when we eat kheer, what do you feel at the time when a stone comes between your teeth? Likewise, when an examiner evaluates your paper, he finds several concrete, several stones in your paper, and that make your essay, that make your writing worse, and the numbers are not allotted. You must think about these things, because in India, the IAS aspirants are regarded as a almost intelligent, most intelligent in India, in the world. This is a mistake, This is a misconception. Nevertheless, even the examiners as well, they think the students should have a good knowledge, though no students are able to acquire, able to obtain out of 100, 80 marks. This is true. Nevertheless, you are regarded as a well-known person. Therefore, when you write, the expectation is quite high from the aspirant of IAS examinations. Therefore, not only society, but the teachers as well, the professors as well, has high level of expectation from you. And the person who has high level of expectation, if he finds a silly mistakes of 10th level, what will he do with you? The same thing what they are doing. 10th lack of students are appearing the examination, but in the mains, they are not able to pass the examination. Who pass the examinations are, believe me, they are very well versed in writing. So, very stillily, चुपके से और बिना शोर शराबे के हम आपकी भाषा को ठीक करने के लिए यहाँ आए हुए हैं, और हम उनमें से हैं जो आपके साथ लगातार परिश्रम करेंगे और आपको परिणाम देंगे। आप विश्वास कीजिए, आप दुनिया की बातें जानते हैं, पर आपकी जो प्रस्तुति है उसमें दोष है, उसमें दोष है। कौन कहता है हिंदी माध्यम का विद्यार्थी अंग्रेजी माध्यम के बच्चों को पराजित नहीं कर सकता? हाँ, मैं पराजित की बात कर रहा हूँ। निश्चित रूप से इस धरती के पुत्र अपनी भाषा में उन सबको पराजित कर सकते हैं, लेकिन आपकी जो, क्योंकि आप में इतने नखरे हैं, जब आपसे कोई अधिकृत शब्द दिया जाता है, पूछा जाता है, तो आप संविधान के 351 अनुच्छेद को भूल जाते हैं और कहते हैं कि क्लिष्ट हिंदी है। क्लिष्ट हिंदी क्या होती है? हमारा दुर्भाग्य ये है कि हम क्लिष्ट उर्दू लिखा जाए तो वाह वाह भी मिलता, वाह 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 वाह, क्या अच्छा लेखन है इसका। और जब आप शशि थरूर की क्लिष्ट इंग्लिश पढ़ते हैं तब आप वाहवाही देते हैं। आपको शर्म आनी चाहिए कि जब हिंदी क्लिष्ट लिखी जाती है, क्लिष्ट क्या होता है? हिंदी को यदि संस्कृत निष्ठ लिखा गया है तब आप लोग इतने दुराग्रही हैं कि आप कहते हैं कि ये हिंदी क्लिष्ट है। क्यों भाई? शशि थरूर की इंग्लिश क्लिष्ट नहीं थी, और उर्दू क्लिष्ट लिखे जाने वाले की उर्दू क्लिष्ट नहीं थी, लेकिन हिंदी ऐसी है, गरीब की लुगाई सबकी भौजाई, गरीब की लुगाई सबकी भौजाई। चूंकि ये हिंदी गरीबों की है, क्योंकि ये हिंदी देश की केवल राजभाषा कहने के लिए है, इसीलिए इसके प्रति जो हमारी निष्ठा है वो कमतर है। और यही कारण है कि आप लिख के देखिए, आप यदि संस्कृत निष्ठ हिंदी लिखते हैं तो क्लिष्ट है, त्याज्य है, ऐसी हिंदी नहीं चलती, पंडितों ने हिंदी खराब कर दी, इत्यादि आरोप लगते हैं। वहीं जब मैं शानदार धारा प्रवाह क्लिष्ट इंग्लिश बोलता हूँ तो मेरी वाहवाही भी होती है। ये कैसा दोगली चाल है लोगों की, कैसा पूर्वाग्रहग्रस्तता है लोगों की, ये आप खुद अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं। हम अच्छी परिष्कृत और परिनिष्ठित हिंदी बोलें तो मैं हिंदी कठिन बोलता हूँ, और यदि मैं लच्छेदार अंग्रेजी बोलूँ तो वो अंग्रेजी ऐसी होती है, वैसी होती, इत्यादि की जाती है। So all these things is a matter of mentality, you know. This is a matter of mentality. When a paper is evaluated by an examiner, he has also a certain mentality. And that mentality you need to meet. The Hindi students, the Hindi medium students, if they write, they need to write correctly at least. You may not put the today's data, that's not a matter. But you need to put at least good writing skills in your paper. You need to write correct Hindi. You know, Hindi has been standardized. There is no problem. Hindi has been standardized. It has certain rules and regulations to write. And if we do that, we can obtain the marks what we require. So, I talked about निबंध. मैंने आज निबंध की बात की है, हिंदी निबंध, और ये कैसे पूर्णांक प्राप्त किए जा सकते हैं इसके बारे में मैंने बात की है। मैं अगले सेशन में जो इस वर्ष का निबंध आया हुआ है 2020 के फरवरी में जो परीक्षाएं हुई हैं, मुख्य परीक्षा IAS की, उसमें जो प्रश्न आए हुए निबंधों की, उसके बारे में चर्चा करूंगा। एक पूर्व धारणा है लोगों के मन में. पीपुल हैव यू नो अ टाइप ऑफ मिस idea, you know, that you need to write so many datas in essay paper. If you don't write datas, what datas? Datas are not important in Nibandha. What you are writing, and yes, I'm agree that you need to write datas also. But if you write datas, those datas are not that type of data what the economists write in their paper, what the other researchers or statistics professors write in their paper. Not that type of data. But if you talk something, you need to put some basic datas. If I talk about population, we need to know what population, how many people there are in the world. You need to know what is the rate of population increment in India. You need to know the 2011 census report. You need to know what presently the India has, the population. All these basic things are needed. So, आपको बस इतना जानना है कि कहाँ जनसंख्या स्थिरीकरण हो चुका है, कहाँ पर जनसंख्या कितनी है, विश्व की जनसंख्या क्या है, भारत की जनसंख्या क्या है. इन सारी बातों को लेके हमें एक सामान्य सा निबंध लिखना होता है. जो महत्वपूर्ण है आपकी भाषा और आपके विचार, विषय वस्तु. आप जब भी लिखते हैं प्रस्तुतिकरण होता है, सामंजस्य होता है, विषय वस्तु. विषय वस्तु में ये जो सामंजस्य है, ये आपका मुख्य रूप से सर्जनात्मक है. सर्जनात्मकता और सामंजस्य आपको यहां डालना होता है. और विषय वस्तु में आपको तथ्य, आंकड़े वगैरह डालने होते हैं. और इधर आपको भाषा की शुद्धता रखनी होती है. तो आपकी जो कमी है, विषय वस्तु में कमी नहीं है, ये आपका शानदार है. हो सकता है आपकी जो कमी है वो इसमें और इसमें है. यदि हम इसे 33% अंक देते हैं, इसे हम 33% अंक देते हैं और इसे हम 33% अंक देते हैं, तो आप केवल विषय वस्तु पे काम कर रहे हैं. परिणाम स्वरूप आपको मिल रहा है उधर 30 नंबर, इधर का नंबर मिस हो रहा है, इधर का नंबर मिस हो रहा है. हालांकि आप आईएएस की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, आपका चिंतन अच्छा है, तो आप इसमें काफ़ी कुछ अंक हासिल कर सकते हैं. इधर यदि आप 30 में से 25 अंक हासिल कर रहे हैं, इधर आप यदि आधा अंक भी हासिल कर रहे हैं, और इधर यदि आप अंक हासिल नहीं कर रहे हैं, आपका एक भी वाक्य अशुद्ध है, एक भी कथन गलत है, आपके शब्द गलत हैं, तो आप विश्वास मानिए इस 33 पे आपका कोई हक नहीं है. तो आप कितना नंबर ला पा रहे हैं? आपका अंक आ रहा है 100 में से 41 नंबर आ पा रहे हैं. आपके नंबर आ रहे हैं 41 100 में से. क्यों? क्योंकि आपका ये नदारद है प्रस्तुतिकरण, क्योंकि आप शब्द अशुद्ध लिख रहे हैं. आप कोमा, बिंदी, विसर्ग और शब्द सीमा का ध्यान नहीं रख रहे हैं. आप वाक्यों का जो समन्वय है वो नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. और केवल आप क्या लिख रहे हैं? विषय वस्तु डाल रहे हैं और कुछ सृजनात्मकता डाल रहे हैं, सामंजस्य करने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं. क्योंकि इतना कुछ करते कराते थोड़ी बहुत तो सृजनात्मकता आई जाती है व्यक्ति में. तो सृजनात्मकता का मतलब है ऐसी विशेष बात जो व्यापक अध्ययन के बाद एक सारभूत रूप में आकर्षक रूप से प्रस्तुत होता हो. मैं इन सब की चर्चा, कैसे निबंध लिखा जाता है की चर्चा अगले अंक में भी करूंगा. और एक अनाउंसमेंट आपके लिए है. मैं आगामी, हमारे प्रबंधक मंडल आपको सूचना देंगे कि आगामी दिनों में हम ऑफलाइन क्लासेस, ऑफलाइन कक्षा जयपुर में आरंभ करने जा रहे हैं. उसमें सबसे पहले 4 चीजें होंगी. एक ऑप्शनल होगा, इतिहास, प्रोफेसर पी रंजीत उसके हैं विशेषज्ञ, वो आपको मार्गदर्शन देंगे। और दूसरा ऑप्शन हमारे पास है संस्कृत, उसके बारे में अगले वीडियो में डिस्कस किया जाएगा, बताया जाएगा, उसकी जानकारी दी जाएगी। और आपको निबंध के बारे में मैं जानकारी दूंगा। निबंध 250 अंकों का है, क्योंकि ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। आप इसमें 250 भी ला सकते हैं, 200 भी ला सकते हैं। कैसे ला सकते हैं? बहुत सीधा सा अर्थशास्त्र है कि आप ऐसे ला सकते हैं। और चौथा जो पेपर हमारे पास है वो है प्रथम पत्र। तो इस तरह से हम 2 ऑप्शनल पे काम कर रहे हैं, संस्कृत और इतिहास। इतिहास हिंदी और इंग्लिश मीडियम दोनों उपलब्ध है, ऑफलाइन क्लास भी है, उस पर लगातार क्वेश्चन सेशन है, आपको लिखाया जाएगा, उसका उत्तर चेक किया जाएगा। अब विश्वास मानिए, चीज़ें तब अच्छी होती हैं जब व्यापक अध्ययन के बाद। हम लोगों से गलती ये होती है कि आप एक कल्पना कीजिए, सपोज वी आर गोइंग टू प्रिपेयर टी, वी आर गोइंग टू प्रिपेयर टी। इफ यू हैव टी powder, if you have sugar, if you have ginger, if you have means of boiling the tea, if you have pot, if you have a person, you put together all the things and boil it. Then a tea is prepared. Is it possible to take separately the things and enjoy the tea? Can tea leaves can be put on our tongue and can it be enjoyed? Is it possible to put some sugar on your tongue and chew it and say that, yes, this is a very good tea? No. May a tea powder, may a sugar, may a ginger never work. You need to put all these things together, and later on you need to put very skillfully, then you enjoy the taste of tea. Likewise, again I would like to tell you, there are 3 things. If you have everything, if you put a person who is first time going to prepare tea, what do you think? Putting all these things, mere putting all these things, can a person make a good tea? No, never. Likewise, mere collecting all informations and writing without practice, writing without the skill, the writing is never, never, never effective. You need to work under the guidance of a linguistic person who are inclined to enlightenment. At another side, there is a lady who is tea master, mistress. He has been sorbing tea for 10 years. If you put all these things to her, she will mix all the things and will prepare tea with love and gratitude. That tea would be markable, that the taste of the tea would be praiseworthy. The taste of tea would be praiseworthy if someone very skilled person prepared. The taste of tea can't be praiseworthy if a new person prepare. So, likewise, we need to collect all informations. We need to put the informations, first of all, like that man who is a new man, who is a learner. Later on, you need to write essays, you need to write your answers like that lady who prepares tea very skillfully. So what now it is happening, everybody is collecting informations, they're writing essays like that person, and they are not getting selected. The person who are collecting, accumulating all informations with very care and putting all information in their essay, in their writing, like that lady is putting all these things with love, affectionate, and skill. And that tea is very tasty. Like that, your tea, your writing would be very effective if they are done with the person of experience. So, the things I showed you, if you have put 33% of content, this is a 25 marks. If you have put somehow samanjas and this type of creativity, you get 16 of 67, 16 or 20 marks. Somehow you are able to get 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 48 marks. But there is possibility to get these 33 marks is missing from your essay. So why can't we gain 25 marks from here? If we could gain 25 marks from here, what do you think? What will happen with you? The marks will go up to 66%. That is a percentage of toppers, you know. What toppers are getting is the same marks, or 66 plus. If you have done fantastically very good in this area, believe me, you will get plus marks in other area as well. Because if you do these things, then you will get grace mark of 2 here, grace marks of 5 here. Ultimately, your marks will go up to 66 and plus 7. 66 plus 7, that would be 73 marks. This is a marks of almost distinction. This is the secret to get success in civil services examination. So I am to help you, I am to work with you constantly with all these things. If we could do these things, so on 20th of our numbers and things will be displayed in our video. You can see that, and later on detailed informations will be provided to you, and we will discuss. In our next video, I shall be talking about the essay paper, what were asked in UPSC. And later on, I will be discussing the Sanskrit paper on next video. So till then, goodbye. Thank you.